if my neighbor sells a bag of cannabis over the counter, he'll be arrested and his place will be shut down. If the guy across the street does it, same thing. I've got a toleration license from the local government, and in Amsterdam there are a little under 200 of those licenses around. So I'm a unique citizen. If you look at the price of cannabis, it is ludicrous. 10, 12, 14, I have a colleague, 18 euros a gram for a simple plant. Why? Because it's illegal.
The government gave us permission, and the mayor with a letter, like a gentleman's agreement, that I'm allowed to sell, but with a lot of golden rules around it, like 500, not more than 500 grams in a place. But I have to buy it somewhere, and they never gave me the tools to do that. So I have to buy it from people who grow it illegally, and that's where the problem comes in after 40 years.
Well, I have hash from Afghanistan. Most hash is from Morocco. I have hash from Nepal. We are selling weed from Belgium. I have German weed. I have Lithuanian weed every once in a while. That's because in Holland it's hardly possible to grow with helicopters and heat-seeking devices in cars and even bicycles with heat seekers on it. It's incredible. Legal weed would make it cheaper for the consumer, and I'm all for that because I started as a smoker. So, and I want to get rid of the thought that I open up this morning and maybe tonight I'm closed.
On the 1st of January 2012, a criteria was introduced into the coffee shops that said that a non-resident of this country was not allowed to be in a coffee shop, purchase a coffee or a bag of grass. It is a national rule that should be enforced by all mayors, DAs and police people, but they don't. And they do it with consent from the Minister of Justice.
It was too mad for words, the Wietpas idea. The public opinion and the politicians started to shift more our way, like, let's forget about this shit, this is completely useless. Let's take care of the supply for the coffee shops now.
The mayor went to the Justice Minister late last year and told him, listen, if we introduce that residency criteria, it's going to be havoc out in the street. We don't want that. So he came back to the Amsterdam Council and he said, if we introduce a 250 meter distance between coffee shops and schools, then the minister will not force me to enforce that residency rule.
They are afraid that there's a young kid under 18 passes a coffee shop, that the chance that he will start smoking cannabis is higher. It's just a feeling they had, and it comes from the Christian parties mostly, and they convinced the other liberal parties. And suddenly it's if you start repeating, suddenly something is the truth, you know, and that happened here. The funny thing is I'm in a whole nightlife area, so there's like 80 places who sell alcohol there. And one coffee shop, so.
There are 26 coffee shops in the red light district earmarked to change function. And that has nothing to do with a residency criteria nor a school distance criteria. That is a different project. They are really in danger.
If you ask me, I'm getting very tired to trying to explain their motivation behind it, because they're just trying to find anything they can grab to shut you down. And that's about it. There's no logic of motivation behind it.
They do not like cannabis, they do not like coffee shops. And there are reasons to agree, but there are more reasons to say, haven't we got any bigger problems in this country?
I understand they want to change Amsterdam, the image more into like a museum city, and they're going to do that within 50 years, I'm 100% sure. Because Amsterdam is a beautiful city and it's got so much history and beautiful buildings and museums, and of course you can't just shut down people and tell them, you know, start selling shoes now, and well, they know they can't, you know, and you lose your business. A lot of people have staff working for them for 20 years. They have family, they have kids, they have a mortgage. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair, and you know, there are other ways to do so.
Well, our government is planning to make cannabis with more than 15% THC a hard drug. on list 1 next year. So then coffee shops cannot sell it anymore. We sell soft drugs. And that would leave us with some outdoor weed, Thai weed and a bit of Lebanese hash. No other hash and absolutely no Dutch marijuana. But instead of smoking 3 joints per day, and we smoke with tobacco, you know that, I have to smoke 6, 7 or 8 joints a day to get to the level of satisfaction or relaxation that I am looking for. That's not good for my health, but it's a proposal of the Minister of Health. They could better make me Minister of Health because I know more about people's health than the Minister.
Some political parties see it as a popular thing to use in their campaign or to get votes, and they say above 15% of THC. They want to put it on the hard drug list in the opium law.
The 15% THC whatever rule, if they're ever going to introduce it, it's a nice thought. It's not going to happen. If you want to put a quality stamp on an illegal product, then you got to legalize it first. On my tobacco it says how much tar is in it and whatever. Why? Because it's a legal product. The producer and the government take care that the labeling is correct.
It would be nicer if I had a place where all my growers are growing my weed together and where I can just buy it per kilo with a receipt to put it in my bookkeeping so they can't accuse me of fraud anymore. It would make things so much easier. That would make me an entrepreneur. Now I'm a criminal in the eyes of the government. We bring in 400 million in taxes per year. Every coffee shop in Holland brings in 612,000 euros in tax on average per year. Why do you want to close those? Why do you want to go to the situation in Italy or in England where nobody pays tax and everybody sells weed next to coke and other shit to people of every age, because the age limit on the street is 20 euros. There's no age limit. If you got 20 euros in your pocket, you can buy dope.